Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hardcore Cottagecore Let's Play. Last episode we went into the nether and made this cute little nether portal surrounded by its own mini forest. And I left off last episode by doing a little bit of strip mining, but unbeknownst to me, I was mining right next to a deep dark biome, and I did not realize this fact until I dug into it and started getting the darkness effect. And then, at that point, I saw a warden clip through the wall, so yeah, that was cool. Needless to say, that is not an area that I'm going to go into at any point soon. I did do a little bit more strip mining down there, just not on that side. And you can see where I marked it off, right here. I will probably never go down that pathway ever again. But this side of the mine I like much better. It's been way kinder to me. So that was very nice. So we've got a clump down here, and there's a couple more over on this side. Down a couple of these paths, I'll have to go and walk down each one of them, but before I do that I actually need to get a different pickaxe because I broke all of my other ones except for my silk touch. And the kelp here still hasn't grown. I've been cutting it down because I feel like it's not growing enough, so it's kind of like you do with hair. I've just been trimming it. But anyways, I'm just gonna go grab my other diamond pickaxe and see if I can even get Fortune 1 on it for us to mine these diamonds. Right now you can see I only have 25, so I'm just gonna re-roll it until I get Fortune 1. Oh yes, right there, okay. Fortune 1, and just that. Oh, maybe I should have waited, but it's fine, it's fine. It's better than nothing. I did find quite a lot of diamonds at least, so this should be fairly profitable for us. So this first chunk here, I've got 5, I think. Actually, that might have been 6 blocks, but I got 8 from that, so that's not bad, 2 bonus ones. There's actually been a little bit since I've been on here, so I am actually gonna have to run down every single one of these tunnels to find them. But yeah, another clump of 4 over here. And we got 5 from that. That's not too bad. I honestly thought it was gonna be worse than this. Maybe Fortune 3 is a scam. Maybe Fortune 1 is the way to go. Let's see, this one is also 4, starting at 13. 20, so we got 3 extra from 4 blocks. That's actually so good. And then I think this is the last one here. We've got quite a few, actually. That's what, like 9 blocks? Like, this is a huge vein of them. Okay, so 13 from 9, that's also pretty good. And yeah, over half a stack of diamonds. I can't complain about that. We can definitely make a few tools now. I'm trying to remember if I had any diamonds in these 2 tunnels, but I really don't want to go down there, because that has terrified me forever. There was literally a warden nose to nose with me. It was actually just terrifying, and it was late at night too, which made it worse. So yeah, it's also great that I planned my strip mine to be on top of a warden. Super convenient, but hopefully that won't cause any future problems. I also should mention that I got this train system working again. Not again, it didn't really work in the first place, but working completely now. The problem was that this rail defaults to turning the wrong way, so all I had to do was make it powered automatically, and then have this turn it off instead of turning it on. And yeah, now it works pretty flawlessly, and I don't have the resources still to run it all the way down to diamond level, but maybe we'll find a different, safer mineshaft at that level that's way far away from the deep dark biome. But for now, I did it like this so I could just test it, but I will set it free here. There it goes, wonderful. Our copper golems up here also are doing really well. Well, I say that. Sometimes they get stuck like this, and they don't become unstuck until I fix them, but that's really just a problem with the cramped space that we have. Actually, give that to me, that's not supposed to be in there. It's a log, that's not for you. But yeah, he'll put the deep slate away, eventually, once he finds the chest that it's in, but it's in here somewhere. Oh yeah, right there, okay. So yeah, a pretty flawless system, kind of. We can definitely test it out a little bit more later, but for right now, I do want to make a bunch of new tools. Because using a bunch of iron making tons and tons of axes for myself is not the most efficient. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a diamond one, and you know what, also a diamond shovel, just because that is also surprisingly what I use a lot of iron on. And yeah, we've still got 29 left, so actually a sword I should do too. Not that I ever really use my sword, I think I usually use my bow or my axe, but either way, we can have one. And then 27 is plenty of diamonds to make some armor, so I'll just fill all of that out as well. And of course, we will enchant this a little bit later too, but for now, at least we've upgraded to full diamond. And I'll put it on our lovely armor stand we've got here. I did have duplicate boots, so I might just put these in this chest here for now. But yeah, now that's looking pretty good up there. And actually now I have 11 diamonds that I'm not really sure what to do with. Actually, never mind, I do know what to do with them. Wonderful. Okay, so now we have full diamond tools, officially. and 9 diamonds left over. I'm actually so tempted to make a diamond block. Just to, just to have. Maybe we'll just put it up there. The main thing that I do want to work on today is actually over in our village. It's been a couple of episodes since I've been all the way over there to do something, and I think that our villagers that we've got are getting pretty lonely. My plan is to make a whole village around here, and I think that having a little bit of progress on that today isn't a bad idea. I should also really get the villager out of this back room that I've got him in here, because he's just kind of been chilling, and I think that's really what's stopping the villager breeder that I've set up. So the population of this village is actually still quite small. So to fix that today, I think I want to build a barn to go with our farmhouse that we've got here. It'll just go right there, and I think it'll make this whole thing look a lot more complete. And it'll also serve a purpose, because I think I am finally going to automate my pumpkin and melon production, because we did go to the nether last time and we got some quartz and stuff to make all of the redstone components for that. Another thing that it'll help with is getting some enchantment levels too, so that we can enchant all of our tools and stuff. It's really just a multi-purpose type of thing, so we can get started on some of the materials. I do want this to be quite a colorful barn. We've kind of done the more muted tones in the past with a little bit of the green on the roof there, which is very cute. I really do love this little barn that we made for like a very starter-based sort of barn. But now that we're kind of expanding into the village, I want to have sort of a bigger structure that is more like in tune with the more classical type of barn that you would see, or at least the most recognizable, I would say. And it'll also be good to just get some automation going. What the heck is going on here? Is this a cavalry? Did you guys hear about that other guy that came around here? Because I swear I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, anyways, he's selling pufferfish. That's kind of cool. And moss. I already kind of have moss. What about you, sir? Don't run away from me. Oh, he is actually selling mangrove. That's one of the things I did want for the very red sort of color that I don't have yet. However, that is a little bit expensive because I do need so much mangrove. But actually, I think I will buy a cactus from him. That's another thing that's just like odd enough to get. And what the heck? Hey, don't trample my crops though. I mean, maybe this is revenge for his friend, but I still don't like it. I just need to quickly gather 3 emeralds before he despawns to get that cactus. Hi friends, do you want to buy some pumpkins for me? Very good. Alright, hopefully this guy is still there. Hello, sir? I think that's the other guy. You're the one I'm looking for. Hi. I want some cactus, please. Let's see, I have 1 emerald left, but I really don't need any of this other stuff. But you know what, I actually will buy some mangrove, just to get a head start on it. He's been trampling my crops. My dude, you can't take my potatoes. Oh, so many, what the heck? That's so much destruction. It's not how guests are supposed to act. Unbelievable. I will do to you what I did to the last guy. Which is nothing, that you can prove. I've got my eye on you though. Anyways, I need to find a nice little patch of sand for me to plant my cactus on, which I might have to dig some up from the river because there's actually none around. There we go. Actually, you know what? I forgot that this doesn't need to be down by the water. For some reason I thought it was sugarcane, but we can plant it in some place a little bit safer, or at least closer to my house, just so that I can monitor it. And now I do actually want to do a little bit of exploring as part of our material gathering, because like I said, I do want some mangrove, and that's going to be way easier to find, I think, than buying it off of that guy. And I know that there is the jungle out that way, so if we just kind of follow the warmer biomes, I think that we will be able to find a mangrove eventually. And then that also will give us some pretty easy access to mud, which doesn't sound super glamorous, but it's actually super good for making the packed mud, because it'll save me a lot of time in going down to the river with my little water bottle and making it myself. Yeah, so there's the jungle over there, as you can see, but there are horses over there. Oh, we might be getting a different horse today, guys, I gotta be honest. Oh, these horses are so cute, they look like cows. I want one. Yes, okay. Listen, I just gotta borrow this saddle, but it doesn't mean that I don't love you anymore. Unless this horse is quicker, in which case I might. Yeah, I don't think this horse is a lot better. I actually think my horse might be faster than this one, but luckily there are others that we can test. This one actually seems really fast. It's the twin of the other one. Oh yeah, this is way, way faster. Okay, you're my current favorite, but I just want to see what these other guys are like. Yeah, okay, this one is definitely the fastest out of all of them so far, which is actually so nice. It's such a step up from my other one. I also didn't think about the fact that we're surrounded by a lot of water here, and although my new horse is really, really great, it doesn't swim super well, which is just a general horse quality. I don't hold it against this specific horse. But yeah, oh, you know what? Kelp. I need some kelp. because it is very slow going trying to grow kelp up the entire length of the underground. There we go, over 2 stacks should do it. And I don't have a brush, but I do want to keep an eye out for any underwater ruins over here. And I can't tell what that is over in the distance. It might just be some wonky terrain generation, but I just want to check. Is it actually? It is. It's literally just dirt. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, thanks Minecraft. At least it's pretty out here, and I still can't see any ruins or anything, so I suppose it's time to head on. Oh, and I forgot about the fishes out here. Not that I have any place for a fish tank right now, but you never know. I mean, you've seen what we keep our axolotl in, so... Oh hey, we've hit more jungle. Oh, and also a crazy cave. It's interesting, but not what we're here for. Oh my gosh, there it is! The mangrove! Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Oh, this is a pretty little spot with the firefly bushes. That's so cute. Oh, I forgot that I should have brought a fence. I'm new to horse ownership, okay? You know what? I do have a crafting table. So I'm just gonna take a small chunk out of this tree. Actually, a little bit of a bigger chunk because I don't have sticks. And then I can just make a couple fences. That way I'll always have some on me. I'll even put them in my backpack. And yeah, I don't want to actually take any trees from this spot because it's too nice. But over here, where it's a little less pretty and it kind of blends with the jungle, I totally will. And I'll also take a couple of propagules to go. It's been so long since I've chopped any mangrove trees and I forgot how difficult they are to actually chop down fully. I mean, they're a little bit of a mess, aren't they? You know what? I've broken into a jungle tree doing this. Anyways, maybe this will be a little bit easier once I go back home and grow them separately. And yeah, I will also take a little bit of mud, but from the less scenic parts, I swear. And you know what? I almost forgot the main thing that was cool about this place when it first came out, and that's the frogs. I actually forget. I think you have to breed them with slime balls, so I wouldn't be able to breed them today or take them home, but I just want to see one, you know? Because I do feel like frogs is definitely something our area should have eventually, and it's been so long since I've actually seen any in-game. Because I usually don't actually settle in the mangrove swamp itself, as pretty as it is. It's a little bit difficult to build in, and also quite easy to get lost, like I might be right now. Oh, but there's a froggy here! Hey bud! Oh, and you have a friend! I really wish I had some slime on me. Unfortunate, but I will be back at some point. But yeah, anyways, I've got about half a stack of mangrove logs, and I think it will be a little bit easier to farm them at home versus chopping them down in this amalgamation that we've got over here. I don't know if it's just because we have such a fast horse, but this didn't feel like a long journey at all. So once we are eventually ready for frogs, it won't be too hard to transport them. And here we are, already back home. It's good to see that the wandering traders are still here. Oops, now I'm the one trampling my crops. I'm allowed to do it, I own them. I forget, this isn't even the useful guy. And he's still dragging his llamas all over my potatoes. That's right, it's getting dark, you should run. Anyways, another more exotic block that I need is actually netherrack, which we should be able to get pretty safely. And this can also double as the start of our ancient debris mine, just as long as we don't spill any lava on ourselves. It looks like we have broken into a little bit of lava. It's a bit of a cave though. I'm actually just gonna turn away from that. Ooh, that's lava though. I always forget how dangerous it is to mine down here. And if it's not lava, it's magma cubes, I suppose. But we shouldn't need more than a stack of it, so that's probably good enough for now. And another thing that I should get started sooner on this project than I usually do is actually our copper. I want to use some copper trapdoors, which means that I can't use the stuff that I've already oxidized. And now that our basement is mostly empty with our copper golem over at our mineshaft area, I can just put a bunch of copper trapdoors in here to age instead. I also would like to use a lot of red terracotta in this build because that's another pretty solid red block that I can get. However, I only have orange right now and that doesn't quite do it. So I need to go back down to the river and mine a little bit of clay. I think there should still be a little bit around the edges somewhere here. Well, this whole river slash lake or whatever this is has been thoroughly declayified, but now I think we have enough clay to make terracotta and the bricks that we need for this build, as well as maybe a couple extra for flower pots. And I can't believe this guy is still hanging around. What the heck, I'm gonna have no potatoes in my field after this. What will it take for you to go away, sir? The destruction he leaves in his wake is just unbelievable. Over half a stack of potatoes, gone because of you. You're lucky I made a diamond toe this episode. And immediately, you know what? He's back at it again. For some reason, he's just hanging out in that one spot. I don't know, he's just really loving those potatoes. Alright, well maybe he'll leave soon, but for right now I have some clay to smelt. And actually, while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna go plant my kelp, I think, in my bubble elevator. Oh my gosh, what the heck, there's a little guy up here. You're not supposed to be up here. No, I know, but it's not your chest. This one is just for decoration. You're supposed to share with the other guy. Listen, I'm just gonna break this, alright? And I'll see if you can follow me. Yeah? Actually, I think I have a lead in here. Yeah. Alright, come on. I know, now you seem a little bit lost, so I'm gonna help you. Okay, come on. Just down here, buddy. Did the other guy kick you out? Was he mean to you? Just tell me and I can take care of it. If I just do like this, will that help? Because now there's technically 2 chests. Yeah, see, that's yours now. You're okay. I actually don't know if that works. If there's 2 chests and that'll fix the problem. But you're fine for now, at least you won't get stuck up there again. Because I really need both of them to sort all my stuff for me. And let's see, the kelp actually has grown a little bit. Maybe it was because I was too close that it didn't want to grow. I am unfortunately creating a huge tunnel of darkness now that I'm doing this, because I did put my torches in the middle for some reason. However, when I jump back down, I can just place as many of them as I want. Until I run out, I suppose. But yeah, now we can break this, and it should be a bubble column all the way up to the top. Yeah, there we go, fully functional. Now I do just need to wall this off though, because having water here wasn't really part of my plan. Although actually that's gonna cause more problems for my torches, isn't it? Oh, now this little guy's walking in the woods by himself. You can go use that other chest, I swear, it's for both of you. Please don't leave. I'm actually a little worried about you back here. There's all kinds of dangerous caves and stuff. I mean, you really got yourself stuck back there, huh? I'm gonna just give you this, so you can be tethered to something. Oh no. Everybody just saw that, right? That was ridiculous. Oh wait, so he will check both. That's actually probably a better system, isn't it? So they both stay down here, but they'll both check that one anyways? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'll leave this chest right there for them as well. And yeah, now we can go back to placing all of our deep slate again, and just flooding the tunnel. Now I am pretty confident that there's water down there. It's just a little bit hard to see now that there aren't torches. I'm also gonna have just another little safety block, just so we don't stub our toes and like die on it. And yeah, now that should all be good down there. It's much, much better having an actual water column now. What are you guys doing on the staircase? What's happening here? Why? For what reason? Is it because that chest faces into this wall now? I swear, the most random things. There you go. No, please don't walk out here. Honestly, you guys, I don't know why you're trying to escape. I thought I gave you a lovely home. You have a purpose and everything. I don't know, maybe I'm letting them be too free range. I might have to like confine them a little bit more than I am currently. But our bricks should be done smelting and we can start on the terracotta as well, which shouldn't take as long. So one of the last things that we can do to get ready for... Excuse me? Why are there always strangers outside of my house? Whoa, I've never seen them sell potions before. What the heck? Potions? I can't be too mad, but I still don't want you on my property though. Maybe that means the other guy is gone. I don't know, we'll see. Because like I was saying, one of the last things that we need to do is go harvest some wheat in our fields over here. Because this can be used to make some packed mud with the wheat, and I'll use the seeds to get a little bit of bone meal, so we can bone meal some rose bushes and get a little bit of red dye. What the heck, you're on my porch now? You're so weird, dude. It's because I said his potions were cool. I don't actually want to buy any though, because I have no money. And of course, as soon as I get all of my materials together, it starts raining, but as you can see from the blocks that we've gathered so far, it is going to be a very, very red sort of build. And it's gonna go, like I said, right here. So let's start by flattening out this piece of the land. It's not on a huge hill, but it is just a little bit uneven. Okay, that actually was quite a bit of terraforming that I did. It did end up having to come up a couple levels once we got all the way back here, but this flat space right here should give us enough space to be working with. And unfortunately, I think all of these sunflowers here are gonna have to go. So yeah, I'll have to find a different spot where they look good facing this way. I can't really put them anywhere over here because they're just gonna be seen from the back, I think. So maybe temporarily, I'm just gonna have some by this plain villager house. To start, I'm gonna grab our bricks and granite and stuff as sort of the dustier bottom part of the wall. And then as we go up, we'll start to work into like the very deeper red colors like the netherrack and stuff as like a very shadowy type of block for underneath the roof, which is a little bit backwards from what I've been doing, but I think it'll work out pretty well. There we go, now we've got the nice little start of a barn, very dusty and light still, but now for the top part. Like I said, we're going to use a lot of netherrack, as well as our variations of mangrove, a lot of the planks, but also some stripped logs to throw in there, just adding a little bit of variation on the texture of it, even though they are kind of pretty much the same color. But that means that we can use them a little bit interchangeably here. And once we finish the whole side, you can see how it really helps give that shadowy type of effect. Even though we don't actually have a roof on yet, it looks like there is one. So let's kind of repeat that. I'm going to do a bigger section for the main like triangle part of this thing, and we're going to have a nice little window in there as well. There we go, I think that's a good general shape for this thing. Now I just need to add on the roof to it, and I'm going to use the same thing that I did for that one, except for I'm going to do more spruce and packed mud versus more of that red, because you know, we've already kind of done that here. We'll just start along here with our dark oak stairs, and I'm actually not going to have this overhang the wall at all because we did do that shadow, which I'm really hoping will help, because I didn't want to extend it down into this part here where we already have this roof, because it would have gotten a little messy trying to join them together, so I think doing this is just a little bit easier. And then we could just fill it in with our spruce, and then we'll go back in afterwards and texture it with just a little bit of mud brick. Okay, and that's the roof mostly done. I did add a little bit of copper, but I promise it's gonna age down a little bit and not be so orange. But I also thought it would be cool in the middle here to add a very, very small little tower, just to let some light in with some windows. Oh, and our copper is aged down. There we go, that's more of what I was going for. And then I'll do the same thing with these copper grates, again hoping they age down fairly soon to be that same stage. And then we'll do a very mini version of the roof that we did with some dark oak again, and I'll fill it in with a spruce beam and a little bit of copper. And I was thinking, because this is another kind of smaller style build, it would be kind of cool to use some signs to make the little topper on here, because you can crisscross them like this, and then, because we do have string now and honeycomb, I thought we could do a little candle on top, just to make a very, very small detail on there, and I think it'll help with the scale as well. That way when we're looking up, it looks like it's very, very far away, even though it's not a very tall building. So I do just need to go grab that real quick. And you know, actually I should take my horse with me. It's kind of the whole point of him. Come on, bud. I'm very tempted to name this horse Cow. It's been done before, but I really think that it fits this one. I mean, my other one didn't even have a name before I got rid of it. But yeah, we can grab just one piece of string, and hopefully there's some honeycomb in here. Perfect, and then we can make a candle. And so that it matches the color, I'm going to use a cocoa bean to just dye it brown. The only problem is that the signs don't load in until you're kind of close, so I might actually install a mod to fix that, just because it does kind of ruin the immersion a little bit. One other thing I'm going to do to the roof just to optimize it the best that I can is use a bunch of fence gates to make the undersides look not so blocky. And I am trying to save the fancier type of designs for the fancier houses that we make later on. So for right now, we're using a lot of that fence gate trick, but I think it works pretty well, even if it is kind of expensive to make all these fence gates. And I think I'm also going to use a couple of regular fences as well, just to have a nice little vertical line stretching down, because underneath the window here, it's a little bit too open, so I kind of wanted to break it up a little bit. And I'll even connect it, I think, to this piece here, because I think using a fence gate would be a little bit too weird because it doesn't actually connect to it if we do it. It's just kind of open there and it looks a little bit weird. So instead, I did spend a little bit of iron, and I'm going to try and hang this from that point, and then it doesn't fully technically connect to the wall, but from almost every angle it does. You would really have to be right here looking up at it to notice. And then we can go ahead and do it again on this side where you can kind of see how it looked before a little bit better. So we'll just swoop in and rescue it a little bit. There we go, I really like how that looks. One last thing for the trim part of it is I got a bunch of signs because I thought it would be cool to use them along the bottom. Yeah, just something like that. And then I'll do the same thing along the front, but I'm going to use some of our spruce fences here to divide these thick beams that we have, at least on this side, because I think it also helps support the overhang of the roof a little bit. And it also ties in with those other fences that we put in there just to add a lot more vertical lines to this thing, where we have that really thick one in the middle. I think it really helps distract from that a little bit. And unfortunately, this is where we have to destroy a lot of our sunflowers. But I will try to add at least a couple back in. It's definitely not as big of a sunflower patch as it was, but I think just still having some right there is kind of nice. Now there is one more pretty obvious thing that it's missing, and that's the barn door. Right now it is very, very empty, and I'm going to do the same thing that we did on our other little one way over there, and I'm just going to use a bunch of shelves for this, doing literally the same exact thing of just stacking them up. And then I actually didn't bring any blocks to put in these. Oh my gosh, I was riding back to get some birchwood and I was wondering what the heck that massive block was floating above my tree, and I missed one piece of spruce wood, and now there's a perfect cube just floating right above the spruce tree. I'll have to fix that soon. It looks like there's the blockiest UFO just sitting right above there, trying to abduct my spruce tree. Oh no, I didn't think about this before, but the candle loads in before the signs. That is a little weird. Yeah. Alright, well, we can at least use our birch in here, just to see how this goes. I actually forgot how I did it on this size door before. It might have just been 3 lines of blocks. I don't know, it's not as good on this size, I don't think. I think it had to be like the 2x3, and that one was pretty good, but I don't know, I guess this one's alright. I'll leave it for now. And now I need to fill in these windows, and I was kind of thinking about what would be the best for a barn sort of window with the red here, and I didn't want to do any more wood trapdoors, so I thought it would be better to actually use some copper trapdoors, because they also have that X sort of shape in them, kind of like what we attempted to do here with our door. And again, not all of them are oxidized down, but hopefully I'll catch them before they turn all the way green, kind of like what happened in our pumpkin house that we did. But yeah, we can use some spruce trapdoors here to make a couple little shutters on the sides. I'll have most of them be fully open, I think, and then just for a little bit of variation on this side, we can have this one kind of half open, just like that. And yeah, I think once those oxidize down, that'll look pretty good. And then on this side, the way this trim kind of runs into this window is a little bit difficult, so unfortunately the shutter, I think, will have to cover a lot of it, unless we kind of had it open, which I guess we could do, and then have this one partially open like that. And yeah, I think that's good. And then the final ones on this side, actually I lied, those aren't the last ones. I'm gonna have a couple up here, because this is the spot especially where there is a lot of the orange and red tones going on, so doing that I think helps it a little bit. And then to add a little bit of greenery in here, I'm gonna put just a little shelf right here underneath the window. That way we can have a very small green box. And I'm using the vines on each side here, kind of just to give it a little bit more depth. And then the vines shouldn't be able to spread anywhere except to the front of this leaf block, where I'll add a little bit of glow lichen, so then that should be trapped, I think, and they won't take over the entire side of this building. But we'll find out by next episode. And I'm going to use a couple more of our dark oak trapdoors in the framing of our door here, just to add a very thin line of dark oak wood, kind of make it seem like it's an actual door frame along here with that beam. And yeah, oh, I need to fill in those windows as well, and for that, even more trapdoors. I do know that there is glass in this game, but I just never use it. Instead, we can just use these along here, like I like to do, because they have a nice little grid pattern that I like so much, and it goes quite well with most of the things that we do here. And yeah, I think that's the exterior of the barn complete. I think it really helps tie in this farmhouse here now that it has an actual barn next to it. And eventually we will continue this as well along the entire village. I thought about like fencing all of this in, but it's so big right now that I don't think that will be completely worth it, just because I don't know exactly how much of this I'm going to end up fencing in and how much I'm going to kind of chop off and leave in the wilderness. But yeah, it's a very good start, at least, to our nice little village. But I do want this thing to actually have a purpose as well, so let's head back and collect a bunch of redstone stuff. Because like I said, this would make a very excellent pumpkin and melon farm, especially where these fields seem to be getting trampled. And last episode I blamed it on the zombie, but video evidence now suggests that it's a wandering trader instead. And torches don't repel those guys like they do for zombies, so moving part of the operation to the inside where we can collect it for free is probably not a bad idea. So I'll need mainly a bunch of rails, I think, for this, as well as observers and pistons. And I'm also going to grab a couple blocks to actually detail the floor in there. Right now it is just grass, but I think I'm actually going to go for something a little bit more stone themed. Kind of like this, what we have out here, but with some of the newer blocks that we've collected. So we'll need a bunch of cobblestone for the observers and pistons that we need to make. But I'll also use some for the floor, and we can grab some deep slate. And where did your little friend go? Were you mean to him again? What the heck? Why? Why does he like the forest, huh? You're so strange. I just think you would be so much happier sorting things instead of living in the woods like a hobo. I think sometimes he just forgets, you know? Maybe the woods call to him and he just can't resist. But anyways, I think that I got everything I came for. I think I might be running a little bit low on iron again, so who knows how many pistons we can actually make from this. But we can definitely make at least a bunch of observers. And then, oh, I do still have 37, that's not bad. And I will also probably need a couple more powered rails, possibly even more than this, because it's going to be quite the track that we're making. But we can start out with these for now. And I actually think I do need to go into the nether, because I wanted to grab some shroom lights and a couple of the warped blocks for decoration, mainly the little grass stuff that they have, because my idea is for it to be kind of like a pumpkin and melon processing area, so there's going to be like kind of almost compost piles of sorts, and I really like the nether sprouts, is what they're called, I guess, and I'm really trying not to be intimidated by these endermen, but it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, anyways, they have like all this stuff that I think would be really good along with maybe some of our podzol. So yeah, and there are actually so many endermen. Look at the amount of endermen over here. Well, also I'm trying not to look at them, so that might be a little bit difficult, but there's just too many, I swear. I'm just getting specifically shroom lights because I don't know if there's any glowstone around, and I'm also really afraid of ghasts. So this is, I think, a little bit safer, because I need them for like the walls where the track is gonna go, because if I use torches or lanterns or anything, stuff would get like stuck in that little gap. So I really just need any light that's a full block. And actually, I didn't think about it until now, but the grass itself, it's not mycelium, but I think it's nylium or something like that. That would also be really good, just as long as we don't let the red texture kind of show through. But yeah, that's all I need, so let's get out of here. It's at least good that I'm getting less and less scared every time I go in. Or it could actually be a bad thing, because I might let my guard down too much. But at least for today, we've survived. And yeah, I'm just gonna start the floor off in here with our stones. Just doing some very basic texturing with the little shadow blocks, and then the main path area kind of with the bright cobblestone, which also looks way more worn down than like tough in the other blocks, which also works out. And I'll also just throw in a little bit of basalt here for fun. There we go, something like that. You can kind of see where our main walking area is going to be. And then I'm going to have like a lot of stalls and stuff in here, but before we get to that, I want to have the farm actually be underneath the ground. At first I was going to try to fit it in the ceiling, but I don't think we'll have quite enough space to really make a huge farm without kind of coming down into this area. And since all of the stuff that's collected is going to be on a minecart anyways, it'll be easy enough to kind of run the track up here to make it dump into a chest. So yeah, I don't think I'll have it be bigger than the dimensions of this room, So just a farm this size that'll be for both pumpkins and melons, so I think that'll be probably good enough without being too crazy. And so just to map it out, this will be the piston and observer layer, and then this will be where the pumpkins and melons are grown, and then underneath here, we'll have this layer be the rail track. And I did that mainly so that now we can actually put our lights in around places so we can see a little better. There we go, this is kind of the space that we're going to be working with. I actually don't know what specific light level pumpkins and melons need to grow, but I think just about like that should be good enough. It's still pretty bright in all the corners in here. And yeah, I'm going to try to have the rail kind of come up here, so we might jut out to the side a little bit, and then it can come all the way up here, where it'll have a nice little hopper to stop at. So I'll set up a nice little storage system here, and actually let's raise this up one block. But I probably shouldn't be setting this up before I actually set up the rail down here, so let's do that part first. So we know that we want the cart to end here, it's just a matter of actually making it go this way. Although I guess that works. That was way easier than I thought. So now we just have to run the track all the way up and down the length of this room, and we'll probably have to fine-tune the powered rails a little bit later. Okay, after some fine-tuning, the rail seems to be working pretty well. There is still some optimization that I could do to it, mainly making this stop longer, which I could do using the same kind of method that we did with the stuff in the quarry area. Just using a comparator and a repeater and a redstone torch, I think that we can do kind of the same thing, where it'll just check to see if something is in this again. But what I want it to do is take it and repeat the signal, but I'll delay it a little bit so that it just stops for a little longer, although this might actually require one more space. But it will power a block like that, so what if I do it here? Maybe one more block above it? Nope. Although that powers that. Oh, it does just work like that. Never mind, I didn't really need a repeater. Although that'll still kind of do the same thing. It'll really only be delaying it a second. Oh, what the heck? What are you doing here, sir? Actually, this guy has some pretty good trades. Nautilus shells are pretty cool. He's selling an efficiency 2 iron pickaxe. Honestly, if this guy showed up in the early game, I might have bought that, if I had emeralds. I can't believe you just wandered in here. You found the one spot that you could access that. But anyways, yeah, I think that this needs one more block of space, and it might be a little bit too big to fit in this area, but it'll work for now. And then I think that I can kind of make it prettier a little bit, and I think that should still work. Never mind, I guess it does have to be a full block. Alright, good to know, valuable information. And it does flip the trapdoors every time, which I don't really like. And yeah, I guess I'll have the chest kind of scooting out this way instead. Oh my gosh. 3 hearts. Holy crap. That was terrible. Huh. I blame you, sir. Oh no, I completely forgot that this area isn't super safe and they can totally just walk in. Oh my gosh. Well, that was interesting. Thank goodness I got diamond armor earlier today. Anyways, I was gonna say that we have all of the stuff ready, I think, with the minecart system, so we can gather up some of our pumpkins and melons to just get a few seeds from them. Which it actually worked out to half a stack of each, which I didn't plan, but we can grab a little bit of water and we can just plant them in the diagonal rows like this. Actually, I should turn the watermelon into seeds first. That might work a little bit better. But now we can actually go in and put all of our pistons in, with the observers looking at each of the plants. And, you know, it'll just fire every time that they trigger, like that. And you can tell the plants are growing because of the constant firing of the pistons. What the heck, my bow doesn't one-shot a creeper? That feels unfair. I thought I was gonna be so cool with that. Getting my revenge, and yet it took 2 shots. Oh my gosh, the redstone from in there even flips these shutter trapdoors. Anyways, I just wanted another bucket of water for my plants. Okay, I did run out of iron for this last little bit, but I think that's good enough. We've got good coverage of both of the types of crops, so I think that'll be good for now. What the heck, dude, you lost your llamas? He did, he walked in here and his llamas were trying to cram in the door and then he just abandoned them. So now that should be all working. And the last thing that I want to do today is actually get a little bit of decoration done in here, because it is very big and very empty at the moment. And hello? Why? You have been causing problems for me. Could you please leave? Could you please vacate the premises, please? Like, just be anywhere except for in the middle of the minecart trail. It's like jumping on train tracks, you just shouldn't do it. I really should probably get a better door on this to like block people from entering and doing stuff like that. But I really like my barn door that I made, so I'm just gonna risk it, you know? I may have gotten down to 3 hearts from a creeper sneaking up on me, but I think it's well worth it for the aesthetic of it. There are actually so many llamas as well wandering around my area now. I should actually start taming them, I suppose, so they stick around, hopefully, because I think that would just be funny. This way we can keep track of how many wandering traders have invaded our area. But yeah, anyways, I suppose this guy is just gonna stay in here. But we can still make some nice little stalls here. These would usually be for animals and stuff, but for this one, I think it's just gonna be for some crops. And then we'll just save this little back area as our little workspace. And then we can also have a nice little level up here, which we really won't use for anything, but I can always put some fake crates and stuff around. Or potentially even some extra storage if we do need it at some point. And I also should get rid of the random netherrack up here. And we'll just replace that with some dark oak stairs. There, that's much better. But yeah, just some basic little archways like that. And then we can use some spruce trapdoors to frame these in. And yeah, that really does fill up the space pretty well. I'll actually also make some dark oak shelves, just to tie these in along the edges. And then for a little bit of lighting and also to separate these, I'll use just a very basic plank and then some bars and a little copper lantern up there, which I might let age down to the greener stage just to match everything in here. Although I don't think I'll have a lantern on every single one, I don't think. Maybe just one there, and the one that's over there. That way it's a little bit evened out and it's not too crazy. And then I think I want to go grab some podzol from our spruce tree. I'm using this as kind of an opportunity to clean up the place, because the podzol is definitely not supposed to be spread everywhere like this. It's just a side effect of growing the spruce trees, and it's definitely not the vibe that I want for my area. So cleaning a little bit of this up will definitely be good. And then I'll just use a little bit of this around, along with just a little bit of grass and the nether sprouts, as well as maybe some more glow lichen. Hello, hi, good to see you back. It's still the same guy from before, selling seeds for emeralds. There we go, I think the first two being like that is good. And I'll actually also have a little bit of our nylium that we got. Just there, maybe with some glow lichen on it, to kind of blend it just a little bit. Actually, can grass grow on this? It's a question of the ages. It cannot. Well, that ruined my plan a little bit. I think that's pretty good for some compost bins. I was gonna have like a couple more be filled, but I think these big ones I'll save for the pumpkins and the melons. I know they're right next to the compost bins, and that's a little bit nasty. I probably wouldn't buy anything from this market, but it's fine. And I seem to have trapped this guy as well. Would you like to be free? There you go. Oh, well, never mind. He made his decision. And yeah, I think that's good. I wish I had some more small detail blocks I could put in here, but I think for right now that's fine. And our rail still hasn't brought anything back up, but I don't think anything has fully grown yet. Well, maybe that one in the back has grown, but it should start producing stuff soon, which is good because I am now very, very poor after making all of this. And then I think the last thing that I'm gonna do is bring our villager in here, the guy that we've left in this back room. I think he finally deserves to see the light of day, so we'll just take him out the back here. Here you go, sir. Just follow me all the way around. I don't think there are any other job blocks for you to get caught on. At least I hope not. I love that the llamas are still around here. Alright, actually, I don't know that you can fit. Can you fit in between the trapdoors? Oh, you can. Good to know. Yeah, alright, you can kind of hang out in here. I actually didn't know that they could walk in between that. I'm gonna trap you in here just for a second there, buddy. And you know what, actually, maybe we'll just flip one of these up for now, and then he can't walk through there. Oh, you're gonna have the same problem, aren't you? Getting stuck in those. I'll just put your little composter over here for you, whenever you're ready. And then since I got blown up by a creeper today, I'm actually gonna take you and have you come sit by our new barn, and just kind of guard the door. There you go, now you're a lovely barn cat. And now you're slightly indoors as well. which is a little bit of an upgrade from your situation before outside the windmill. And yeah, I can't resist having no flower pots in a build, so I'm just gonna put one, just right there with a little bit of warped fungus in it. Again, a little bit concerning for a vegetable processing center, but that's okay. All in all, I think this is a very nice little area that we've got. Soon it'll actually be functional too. And yeah, I'm super happy that we finally got to finish off this farmstead for our villagers and get a head start on the village itself. But yeah, that'll have to be all for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.